Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. In this video I am going to be showing you a program called Mastercam. What is Mastercam? Mastercam is a program that machinists use to build products. What it is it's used for CNC lathes and CNC mills. CNC stands for Computer Numeric Control. So I have the program already installed on here, and now I'm going to launch it. You look at it, you go, X5, what is X5? This is Mastercam 15. Okay, so this is how this works. It shows up like this. This is your operations manager. This will tell you everything you have set up, including the machine selection. So where I'm being trained, we use Mastercam 15. They have Mastercam 2020. Now, that's out. Here's the cool thing about this. CNC machines run on code called G code. I could take the oldest version of Mastercam, create the G code, and use it on the newest machine. So first of all, the way you want to do this is you push F9. That gives you a grid. So machine type, I'm going to do the lathe first. So as you can see over here, there's going to be files, tool settings, stock setup, safety zone. That's so you don't crash. You use that. We don't use it where I'm being trained. Good eye and a hand on the emergency stop button. So in this case, we're going to go to stock setup. Now this is the lathe stock setup. This is not the mill. The mill stock setup is a little different. Alright, so what you're seeing is stock left spindle and stock right spindle. Here's the cool thing about this. If you have a machine that has two chucks in it, you can set up the left spindle and then set up the right spindle to stock-wise, and then you can machine two parts. So in this case, I'm just going to do one side here. So go to Properties. Oh, no, don't do that. That'll be wrong. I'm going to do 0.830. And the length of the stock is 4.0. So I'm going to leave it like this. I'm going to push check. See, that's way too big. So what you do is you go back into stock setup. You go to Properties. I'm going to exit out here. So what you do now is I'm going to X this out. I'm going to scroll way out. There we go. So what you do now in this case is you select the square. And you go right over that. Select, this is your smart dimensions. That's 3.995. I'm going to do some more to me. 0.836. Okay, you can go in and you can adjust it, you can move it, you can do whatever you need to do. So I'm going to escape that. That's pretty much where I want to be. So the reason why it was so big is it was zoomed really far in for some reason. Okay, so in this case, we're going to go I'm going to do Alt-O for Operations Manager, but I don't need that right now. So anyway, I am going to go to Toolpaths and we're going to do a rough cut. But before I do that, I have to go here. Now, a trick here is you want to delete the bottom half of this. If you don't, you're going to get some really weird outcomes that you may not want. So what you do is you go here, break it into two pieces. Whoop. Click that too quick. And what you do is you go to where the grid is, double click that. Click down there. There you go. And there you go. Oops. Gotta do it again. There we go. And if you don't get it just right, now we scroll back. Now, why do you do that? The part is spinning. So if you do it like this, while the part is spinning, it's going to do it. Okay. So, we go to Toolpaths now, we go to Rough. This is to put a radius. Right? There we go. So I'm going to leave these intact. So, max spindle speed is 10,000 RPM. For the purposes of being trained, we don't run it that fast. But I'm going to leave the settings the same there. So what I'm going to do is do that. And there you go. Now, if you had the full thing set up, if you would have left this, it would have done some really weird things. So now, go to Toolpaths and you go to Finish. But before I do that, I'm going to do Alt-O. And this right here is a solid, so we're going to do solid. I'm going to slow it down so you can see it. Zoom out. There we go. As you can see over there, it did it. So, when you do a rough cut, you have to do a finish cut. So you go to Toolpaths, you go to Finish. Right? You want to reverse it. You don't want it going down. I'm going to leave it the same. And it did the line. So, we're going to do, select the check mark there, go to the solid. And there you go. Okay, now you want to do threading. This is the tricky part here with this. Oh good, it did the threading. But Go into parameters. With the correct tool, start position is always 0. So I'm going to do negative 0.200. We'll update that. All right. Solid. I didn't have all the tools selected. Tool change. There you go. So now we create G-code. All right, it'll display the G-code. Okay, so right up here is the program name, TO1. And you can modify this right here. S1193M03, G54X6405. This I would have to modify. This is the slowdown speed. Right? So you have I and the K. These are important. These are for your radius. Without these, the machine, the light itself will think you're trying to duplicate the code. Now down here we have something called U0, V0, W0. On a 3-axis machine, that will not work. Reason being is it's a 5-axis code. Alright, so I'm going to exit out. We're going to do new. So we're going to go to machine type, we're going to go to the mill. Okay, so we're on the mill. Now the machines I use are Haas. The nice thing about it is that G-code I just showed you, if I would take the I and the K out, and it thinks it's duplicate, it'll throw up an alarm and stop. Basically, it'll stop running. Same thing with the mill. So, we are at the mill here. So, just to be safe. Yes. Okay. Whoops. Right, so we're going to go to stock setup. And this is a little different from the lathe. Because the mill comes down, the lathe goes right to left. Okay, so in this case, we're going to do cylindrical, we're going to do Z, we're going to do display, we're going to do fit the screen. So I'm going to do 1.5. We're going to do 0.830. We're going to do negative 1.5. And there we go. And I always like to have the grid on there. That helps me. You don't have to use it, but I prefer it. There we go. So that is done. So now what I want to do is I want to turn this round piece into a square piece. You select your square. Do that. Oh, I always forget to, you got to select it first, then you go to X-Form, go to drag, click it, drag, check. There we go. Select this. Drag. All right, so that'll be okay. All right, so now what you do, since you have all the setup, you got to whoops. You go to Tool Pass, go to Contour, yes, Partial, alright, so now you come to the contour. First thing you want to do is go to your tool, select the library. This isn't accurate, but I'm going to just do that just for the sake of this video. Cut parameters. Computer or where, I like to use where just in case your tool wears down, you're still going to get a proper cut. The cuts, leave alone. Enter. On the first cut only, last cut only. Multi-passes. I always do 3 for the finish pass. 1. Always select keep tool down, otherwise it'll start hopping. You're wasting time. Linking parameters, absolute, 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 0. So what I'm going to do is negative 0.300. We'll go to coolant. Now what coolant is obviously it keeps your parts and tools cool while you're working on them. The CNC lathe has it and the CNC mill has it. Some newer machines have a coolant button if they, even the older ones do, but you could do MOE, it'll turn it on. So, turn it on automatically. And there we go. There's that glitch again. So if I would save this, it's a glitch in Mastercam. There we go. We go out. Click the file. Open it back up. And there we go. you would use a large end mill to do this. That's why it looks the way it does. Because I don't have the proper tool, but I'm just doing it for demonstration purposes. And you have facing. Meaning I can create a program to automatically face the part. You want a smooth, flat surface for what you are doing. So you can create a facing program that will actually work. But there's no fly cutter option on here, so on this particular program for at least I can't find it for this particular Mastercam. So anyway, so if I want to, I can go to face, do that, go to tool, let's see if it has it. Ah, it does. Okay. So now your cut parameters are going to be like this. Why is that? The machine's going to go like this. So what I would do is negative point. At your own position. Approach. You can set up the approach. It failed. I did not do it right. So, yep. That's your linking parameters. Alright, so anyway. Right, once again, I don't have it set up properly. That's why it's doing that. But for the sake of this video, that's why I'm doing it the way I'm doing it. Alright, so these are all that we need right here. Now we have this A. That's for angle. If you have a mill that can tilt the table, you would use the A. Now, the machines I'm being trained on do not have that capability. So what we would have to do is erase that. But first, before we would do that, you go to NC Functions and remove block numbers. Now, on the lathe, you would use W0, V0, and U0. You would remove that as well. Alright, so that is it for this video. Please comment, like, and subscribe.